Ada orang akan start dulu ke?
Saya start.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dengar tak sini?
Okay, dengar.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to speaker and all participants. We start our program today with Ummu Kita Al-Fatihah. Our honorable speaker, Brother Norazili bin Abdul Aziz and all participants. Attention to all participants, please ensure that your audio Zoom application is on silent mode. Without further ado, I would like to invite Brother Norazili to start our program today. Please welcome.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss Chairperson, the Secretariat, and also all the participants. So we may start our session with the recitation of Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. First of all, thank you so much everyone again and to all the members and participants who are attending this training needs analysis what we call that session. The session is not going to take very long because I know that the time is starting from, it's supposed to start from 9 until 1. But I think we should, from my side, for the first half of the session, I will take around maybe not more than 2 hours. And then in the second phase, I will pass over to the Secretariat for everyone to fill up the relevant forms and things needed, the details in order for us, all of us, to get the information that we are supposed to get from everyone lah in SASMAC. Alright, sebelum saya teruskan nak tahu juga daripada 27, 20, 30 participant ni, hope that everybody what we call that come from different departments, different office, so on and so forth, because at least we will have a representative, ada representative daripada non-clinical and also clinical side. That is the most important thing lah. So this group of participants will be the, what we call that, will be the representative, the spokesperson and the, what we call wakil kepada setiap grup yang kita adalah in terms of either clinical or non-clinical, so that we can get a very valid details of what are the things that our staff needed in order when we're talking about training and development, when we are talking about professional development, tak kira lah job related ataupun generic training. So these are the information that we need to know from our participants. Alright. This training needs analysis session ni memang kita kena buat normally at the beginning of the year, meaning that before we do any program, kita tak boleh buat program suka-suka hati. Kita nak buat program ni lah, we want to do this, we want to do that. But the thing is, we need to know what are the needs, the importance, the gap that we have to address in order for us to make training program. That is when training needs analysis comes in lah. Kena ada, sebab kita kena buat TNA ni pada awal tahun supaya program yang kita nak buat pada tahun berkenaan akan lebih efektif, lebih efisien dan lebih objektif ke arah pengisian ataupun to meet the mission and vision of the training program that we are going to organize lah. And then at the end, we are going to look at the evaluation, whether the ROI, whether our mission, our VC, our vision is actually achieved, our KPI achieved or not. So these are the process, the what we call it, the general process flow of why TNA is needed, why we want to organize training, and then why we would like to make sure that our staff are all competent enough in order for them to perform their daily job tasks, and also at the same time for them to to groom themselves, to increase and enhance their knowledge and skills lah. So that is what the general idea of what training needs analysis and training and development are all about. Okay, so looking at the title of TNA, mind the gap. So why mind the gap? Mind the gap means that we have a person, we want to know what are his or her competency. Okay, whether he or she is what we call that, whether he or she is able to perform the job, whether he is competent, whether he or she is capable or not in doing the job. So that is why we have to bridge the gap in order to make sure that our staff can perform well. Tak kira lah dalam bidang apa pun. But the thing is, why, in order for us to make sure that they are well trained, well equipped with knowledge and skills, so that is why we need to come up with this TNA. So that we can have a proper program lah for our staff when we want to organize training program. Tak kira lah training program ke, conference ke, workshop ke, whatsoever, TNA ni is a must. Tak ada TNA memang fail. You buat program is based on what? You buat program ni sebab apa? Perlu ke dia orang ni tambah knowledge? Perlu ke dia orang ni teruk sangat ke? So in order to answer that, we have to have a very comprehensive report with facts and numbers and statistics. So what to support our request to our report to is this training needs analysis. At the end too, we hope that the gap too, we can bridge the gap, and then we know that what are the things that we need to do in order for us to increase our staff knowledge, skills, and also their professional development lah. Tak kira lah job related ataupun generic program training whatsoever. Okay, I have the list of names here. Ada dalam 31 of us with a mix of personalities from different departments. Siapa yang rasa siapa yang dah pernah attend this TNA session ni? I think last year we did one TNA session. Siapa yang daripada 31 ni yang pernah attend this mind the gap and dah pernah tengok pun slide yang ada kat depan ni? Anybody? It should be okay, no problem, tak ada masalah. It's just that kalau kata yang pernah attend tu, this will be a refresher course lah for everyone. And then kepada yang tak pernah, those who have never been into this session, so maybe this is the first time you have seen the slide, and also this may be the first time that you will experience what TNA is all about lah. So for the rest, it's just like a refresher course lah, because TNA is very important. Sama juga macam kita hidup pun, kita nak tahu dalam kehidupan kita apa yang kita kurang, apa yang kita nak perlu increase dan apa kita nak perlu kurangkan, dan apa yang kita perlu nak maintainkan dalam hidup kita. So that is why we also need to do our TNA to ourselves. Apa kita, skill apa yang aku kena ada, skill apa yang aku kurang. So these are the things that we have to have in our daily life lah, right? But for us in SASMAT, in an organization, especially for those departments, departments ke, clinics ke, office ke, especially HRD, human resource development, yang memang 100% totally involved in training and development, but to all other departments as well, they also need to improve dia orang punya staff punya competency. Then TNA must be the first thing that you need to do, so that kita buat kerja ada objektif dia. Mencapai matlamat dia memang kena dengan apa yang kita nak. So that is why. I know that all departments memang buat benda ni. Contoh banyak department macam quality, macam syariah compliance, clinical departments, nursing. They know when the staff comes in, they know what to do. They know what they need to have, the level of competency that they need to meet in order to perform their job tasks on what we call on daily basis, so on and so forth lah. Alright. So that is what TNA we are going to look at. Mind the gap. What Mind the Gap is all about? It's all about bridging the gap. It's all about to make sure there is no gap. In order to make sure that our staff is well versed with all the knowledge, skills, and experience. And at the same time, we also, whatever happens to our staff, whatever things that we are performing during our daily job tasks, it will affect the performance of the organization. It will affect the performance of SASMAC at IUM and IUM. So that is why training needs analysis must do. We must do training needs analysis. All right. So that will be the introduction. Right. I will move to the next slide. I'm not so sure whether you guys can see the next slide or not, because dekat saya ni saya tak dapat tengok slide yang seterusnya. Okay, like I said, we are going to do the first phase is more towards theory. Tetapi if you do have any questions or you want to interrupt, please do so. I'm expecting a very two-way communication interaction session during this session. Jangan malu, jangan segan. I can see there's also a lot of okay. Slide tak gerak ya? Sekejap, saya tak tekan lagi. Okay. Alright. Kita tengok Gerak tak slide?
Gerak.
Okay. Okay, that one is the first slide. That is the what we call that the title, the main title, Mind the Gap. It's all about training needs analysis objective for the focus group. This is the focus group. This is the focus group. This is a focus group, and the objective of this focus group is to understand. We need to know why we do TNA. Ada tak di kalangan kita di sini yang buat program memang tak buat langsung TNA? Kita ikut suka hati kita, ikut dan je. Okey, kita buat program ni lah. Ada tak? Tak apa, kita belajar. We learn from each other. Ada tak? Tak pernah langsung membuat TNA. Kita nak buat program, kita buat je. Siapa yang boleh nak mengaku di sini yang dia buat program, okay, department dia ke whatsoever buat program, buat saja. Tanpa buat TNA, buat in order to do a proper study of the needs of the department. Perlu ke training ni dibuat? Perlu ke training ni? Kalau ni tak perlu, maksudnya dia ni dah terror, dia ni dah pandai, tak payah kot. So these are the things that we have to understand. These are the things that the objective that we are going to look at now is to understand the purpose of training needs analysis. Nama pun training needs analysis. Mengapa that training need to be done, need to be organized? In order for what? So these are the analysis that we have to come up with. Macam kita buat training needs analysis, macam contoh HRD dekat MSD, masa dekat MSD, kat HRD kita buat untuk the whole university, kita tahu what are the top 5 job related training yang kita kena buat. Contoh, kalau pergi kat universiti dulu, kita tengok top 10. Apa job yang the most job related training yang kita kena buat. Yang kita kena organize, yang kita kena hantar for external training. And what are the top 10 generic training. Generic training tu generic training yang macam mana? Pengurusan jenazah, lepas tu collaboration dengan masjid buat program. So these are the things that we need to know. Once we are done with TNA, barulah program yang kita buat ataupun training yang kita buat tu berjalan ikut apa kehendak masyarakat. Contoh macam kita nak jual barang lah kan. Kita buat market survey. Area ni ada tak orang jual nasi lemak lagi? Tak ada kan? Kita jual nasi lemak. So bila kita jual nasi lemak, ramai the demand for that in that particular area kita dah tahu dah. Tidaklah ada 10 orang jual nasi lemak di jalan yang sama, di kawasan yang sama. So that is the purpose lah. That is why we need to do TNA. Alright. To realize, next is to realize the relevance and crucial, what we call that, the crucial importance in the way an organization manage its people. So how are we going to, kalau those people in the business industry, yang retail industry whatsoever, so what kind of training that are important to them? So from TNA kita boleh tahu. Okay. To understand the important component of human resource development, dalam human resource development, if you study well in human resource development, ada 3 bahagian. One is training and development, second is about organizational development, and third one is about career development. 3 big area ni dia ada sub topik dia, sub area dia yang kita kena faham. So the TNA that we are going to do, the TNA that we need to do will address this training and development towards, and it will also address towards the organizational development, and at the same time it's all about career development. Alright. To know how to design, develop, conduct effective TNA exercise. At the end, bila kita dah, yalah, with the knowledge that we are sharing, saya tak kata saya expert, I'm sharing the knowledge with everyone here. Kalau you ada experience, kalau the other side of this monitor ada experience lain, okay, share. Kita nak something yang interaktif, okay? At the end tu kita dah tahu, for this session, at the end kita dah tahu dah, macam mana kita nak buat TNA lah. TNA ada banyak metodologi, ada banyak cara dia. It's either through questionnaire, it's either through workshop, it's either through interview. Dia ada banyak cara-cara dia. So you get to know what are the ways and the effective ways in order to do a TNA exercise. And then to provide participant with knowledge, skills, aptitudes, motivation, competence, and to decide when it should be done, why and by whom. At the end tu kita tahu dah, TNA ni kerja siapa? Siapa yang kena buat TNA? Maksudnya siapa yang in charge of professional development ataupun training development at that particular respective department, office. Right? That the TNA, whatever things that we are going to do, is not just on the responsibility. Memanglah HRD akan terlibat secara langsung sebab dia punya job scope memang buat training and development. Memang dia kena buat TNA. But when we're talking about financial things, when we're talking about human resource planning whatsoever, that will be the responsibility of each of the person ataupun HOD, HOU at the respective department. Sebab di unit tersendiri, di unit dan department tersendiri pun kena buat juga benda-benda tu, sebab you will also have your own what we call that, a small team, on how to develop your staff. You kena tahu juga knowledge yang kita nak buat ni, you have to know how to do it, and then what are the things that we need to do lah. So that will be the thing. That will be the objective of this focus group. Why I say this is a focus group? Because this one TNA kita buat dalam hospital environment. So we are doing this TNA for SASMAC alone. TNA di peringkat universiti pun dah ada, dah buat dah pun. So kita akan fokus pada grup kita sini di SASMAC. Alright? So that will be the objective of the focus group. Okay? Kalau ada apa-apa nak tanya, saya tengok dekat chat box tu pun ada juga pertanyaan. Saya akan check setiap kali saya nak move the slide. Okay, ni attendance, seluruhan TNA last year ada. Okay, right. Cun. Bagus. TNA tu kena buat lah. Sebab dia akan lebih, because why is important. Contoh, saya ambil contoh. Kalau kata kita nak buat leadership training program untuk staff kita kan. Tak semua staff kita at the same level, maksudnya at the same par. So some maybe at level 1, some this one next person ada kat level 3. How we do know, macam mana kita tahu yang dia ni kat level 1, level 3, level 4, level mana, dan dia ni kurang kat sini, dia ni kat, sebab apa? Macam mana kita nak tahu? Through TNA lah. Kita buat, kita come up, we gather all our staff and then kita buat. Okay, you skill you kat mana, you strong kat mana, you weak kat mana, you kena pergi training apa, you kena these are all the detail, the analysis yang kita dapat tu, the report tu comes from TNA. Kalau tak buat TNA agak susah lah, sebab kita nak tahu juga perlu ke tak training tu dibuat. So bila ada persoalan, when you have questions that you have to ask yourself, is it a must, is it a need for us to have that kind of training? Untuk menjawab dia, you kena buat this TNA untuk menjawab sama ada perlu ke tak. Itu the thing will be the result of your TNA lah. Okay. Next, principle of training. It is important to identify the training needs before trying to implement any training solution. SASMAC, customer service agak moderate. Kita kata moderate lah, biasa je, biasa, very biasa, tak adalah sangat, tak adalah wow factor sangat pun. Right? So these are the things that we can get. Macam mana kita tahu dia tahu? Macam mana kita tahu moderate? We get from the customer's feedback. Kita nampak, kita kumpul customer's feedback, lepas tu kita tengok, kita analyse. Oh, tak sampai pun 50%. Most of them say biasa-biasa saja, moderately, not even excellent ataupun good. So we know this is a way of how we know that training need to be done for customer service, sebab kita dapat input daripada customer service feedback. Itu satu cara, right? Baru kita boleh identify the training yang betul-betul appropriate, yang betul-betul diperlukan untuk dijalankan di SASMAC contoh, right? That is the principle of training. Why TNA is important to identify training needs, apa yang diperlukan sebelum kita buat training program. Okay, so that will be the thing. Saya akan check balik dekat chat satu lagi. Untuk TNA setakat saya baca ada dua komponen, technical skill and non-technical skill. Okay, untuk non-technical boleh based on MSD competency framework, betul. Tapi kalau untuk technical macam mana? Okay, untuk technical sebab kita, for us here, untuk technical ni, memang kalau yang general yang dikeluarkan oleh kompetensi base, yang kompetensi dikeluarkan itu memang ada. Okay, general. Untuk technical, kalau tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ada perasan, UMP ada keluarkan satu kamus kompetensi yang betul-betul komplit, di mana ada skim technical semua ada kat situ. Right? So that will be another way for us to refer to. That will be a good book, a good encyclopedia, a good dictionary of competency for us to refer to. UMP dah keluarkan. Saya rasa baru je dia keluarkan dalam awal tahun ni. Kita pun ada satu kopi. Kita boleh refer to that. Sebab itu dihasilkan oleh kompilasi of brains from all the public universities dan juga ACAD. Dan juga ACAD dan dekat Ministry of Higher Education. That will be one way for us to refer to. Another way, untuk technical ni, kita boleh buat technical group punya people, we come together and then kita buat TNA. Kita ambil daripada skim J, daripada skim F, daripada skim W, daripada skim yang UD, U, gather all them together. Is either we can separate them into groups ataupun they can come in together all of them and then kita buat TNA. Then we will have a very reliable and comprehensive what we call that technical competency yang tadi tu. Framework tu. That one it can be done. Tak ada masalah. Boleh buat. Kita kumpulkan semua technical punya people. Wakil-wakil daripada J scheme ada 3-4 orang, wakil-wakil daripada W, daripada apa lagi, F, daripada KP ke, daripada mana-mana yang technical part tu. Kita boleh buat workshop. Then we can have a very comprehensive. Tapi buat masa ni kalau nak refer to kamus kompetensi yang dikeluarkan oleh ACAD dan ada yang and public university tu ada. Buku tu ada. Okay. Hope that I already answered your what we call it, your question. Sister Sister Faizilah. Faizilah. Benda ni kita kena buat sebenarnya. Kita kena buat. Kalau benda dah ada, termaktub dalam buku, dah tercompile dalam buku, kita boleh rujuk. Buku tu ada di HRD. Kita pun dah purchase satu. For the rest, technical kita buat focus group. This focus group yang kita buat sekarang ni, focus group ni untuk SASMAC saja, sebab kita tahu nature of SASMAC ni dia ada clinical and non-clinical staff. So kita tak rely on MSD, kita tak rely dekat central, sebab central dia akan go for academic punya group, dia akan go for administrative punya group. So for us kat hospital ni kita kena buat spesifik untuk grup kita, grup Susmed kita. Sebab tu saya katakan ini first I think this is not the first time I'm doing this for Susmed. Masa saya kat MSD pun saya dah start buat TNA focus group since 2017. We keep on coming here and we gather all the clinical and non-clinical staff tu. Tak silap saya masa tu first year kita buat tu dengan clinical group sahaja. With all the representative from Optal, ONG, daripada nursing, everybody come in. Kita buat dekat level 4 seminar room. That was the first time I attended and we led that TNA session for clinical. For technical, insyaAllah kita akan buat lagi lah. Sebab macam saya cakap tadi, methodology on how to proceed with TNA ada banyak cara. Kita boleh buat workshop, kita boleh buat interview, kita boleh buat through questionnaire, kita boleh buat what we call that macam bengkel kan, so this kind of thing, discussion, profiling test, semua tu kita boleh buat. Okay, because the idea is at the end we want to make sure that kita ada a very comprehensive details and information. Okay, staff nursing dia perlukan training macam mana, staff finance ke, engineering ke, MO doctors, our doctors pun perlukan training macam mana. So these are the things that what the end result of TNA is all about, a very comprehensive report. Tidaklah kita buat macam saya cakap tadi, banyak kali saya akan ulang, jangan tak buat TNA sebab nanti kita akan shock sendiri dan kita pun tak tahu program tu yang kita buat tu, training tu buat okey ke tak, betul ke tak, kena ke tak, adakah benda ni benda yang sama, benda ni tak perlu ke, tak penting. So these are the things lah. Right, I will check my chat box. Faisal, okey, Cik Faizilah, mana dapat rujukan? Okey, Faizilah, alright. Kena buat satu assessment system untuk assess kompetensi staff kita. Yes, kita dah tengah develop benda ni. Benda ni kalau nak assess kompetensi tu, Cik Faisal memang ada ya. Tapi benda tu we take some time lah. Even UMP pun to come up with the competency book tu ambil masa 3-4 tahun kalau dia punya project tu. Even competency pun dah ada sampai tahap yang lead by UPM dengan ACAP tu, project 2 tahun untuk dapatkan on compilation of what we call that competency level of admin staff. Alright, kita kena set satu standard yang mana what is the requirement. Okay, alright, benda tu boleh ada, kita boleh insyaAllah ada. Setakat ni kita boleh refer kepada kamus kompetensi yang telah dikeluarkan oleh Universiti Awam dan ACAP untuk administrative and professional and development from officer until support group. Nanti kita boleh sit down, all the expertise yang ada kat Susmed ni, kita sit down, kita tengok balik. Alright. Next, tu Cik Liz, alright, no problem. Boleh. Kita buat. We do it for Susmed sebab kita ni untuk Susmed ni agak unik sikit lah sebab kita HP for under URA. So URA at central level tu dia they may see at what we call that only the administrative and also only the administrative and academic punya staff lah. But for us Susmed ni kita ada banyak scheme. And we also have clinical. Majority of our big chunk of the staff here in Susmed itu semua clinical. So maybe one day kita akan set lah. Nanti kita akan buat apa yang patutlah untuk clinical, right? Okay, that is the principle of training. Now we move to next slide. Will be why training is essential. This one I think everybody knows. Semua HOD yang semua ada kat sini, saya tahu participant saya. We are all here know what training, why training is essential. There's a need of strengthen skills. Kita need to bring all employees to a higher level so that they all have similar skill and knowledge, especially those in our environment, hospital environment ni semua nak cepat. Okay, not all understand the nature of hospital. Even in our experience as well, the university also they should understand why hospital keep on pushing them to deliver, because we are very essential services. We are giving services to the public. Kita nak benda cepat. Sometimes it is a very emergency and then it's a matter of life or death. These are the things that they have to understand lah. Sebab tu kita nak staff kita cepat. staff kita ni boleh manage, boleh micro manage, boleh macro manage, boleh buat planning, boleh contribute to the development of SASMAC, boleh buat everything. So they can think outside, they can think beyond their job expectation. Okay, so these are the things why training is very important. Right, need to improve or change performance from good to be better and to be the best. Need to gain knowledge or to learn new skills. Takkan kita nak dengan knowledge at, let's say that our level now is 5. Takkanlah lagi 10 tahun pun nak 5 saja kan. We also want to increase our position ourselves to go to level 10. Main game pun nak naik level. Takkanlah kerja nak duduk kat level yang sama. Takkan masuk dengan grade 41, nak pencen pun dengan grade 41. Takkan masuk, mestilah ada cita-cita, mestilah ada dream. I dream of something, I want to be this, I want to be that. From I masuk, I report for duty at grade 41. I mesti nak dream of pencen grade JUSA C ataupun B. So that is the thing, that is what training is all about. Kita tak bolehlah we cannot be with the knowledge of 41 kalau kita nak pencen JUSA B. So that is why we need to go to attend training. That is why lifelong learning is all about. From time to time, we have to increase our knowledge, increase our skills. Ada opportunity, go ahead, dapatkan experience so that bila kita dah naik jadi JUSA C ataupun JUSA B, kenalah dengan orang dia, adalah aura dia, adalah dia punya orang kata apa, karisma dia. Ini tengok naik JUSA B lah, aja macam tak kena dengan orang tu. So tak boleh lah. That is why training is essential. That's why we need to go for training. That is why we need to keep on learning, to keep on belajar sampai mati. Right? The need to gain knowledge, to learn new skill, the need for change in the environment. We are the change. University rector duk cakap pasal, khair, sejahtera. Where are we now? Are we sejahtera enough? So in order to be sejahtera, kena attend lah training, gain our knowledge and so on and so forth. Why training is essential? So these are the things that we need to know from time to time. See yourself in 10 years time, 15 years time, 20 years time, you pension dekat grade mana? Not just in working life, but also during our social life. You nak jadi apa? So that is why lifelong learning comes in. Proses pembelajaran itu sangat penting dalam kehidupan, not just during our job only. Alright? Let me check the chat box. Oh, tak ada apa-apa. Alright, I move on to the next slides. Okay, now we look at the techniques used in TNA. Macam saya cakap tadilah, some techniques used in TNA. This one, I believe, some techniques, SWOT, strength, tengok kat strength of our staff. Okay. Weaknesses. Apa yang weaknesses dia? This is what are the opportunities? We have to look at the opportunities and the threats. Kalau tak dapat, kalau my particular staff tak dapat achieve, tak dapat perform this job, apa akan jadi? What are the threats? So this first thing is SWOT analysis. Kena tengok, kita kena buat. Siapa yang kena buat? Anybody can do it, but it's better somebody to lead the session, HOD ke, HOU ke, ataupun yang rasa yang mana yang ada lead something, because we need to have somebody to push. Pushing factor tu must be there in order to make sure that the program, whatever things that you want to do, berjalan. Right? So buat benda tu, tengok, oh staff aku ni, staff dia ni kurang, dia kurang cakap, tapi kita nak bagi dia kuat, dia banyak cakap. Okay, very introvert, not so extrovert, my staff. So what to do? So these are the things that we have to do the analysis lah. strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, so on and so forth. Second, one-to-one interview. Kita panggil seorang-seorang. Mungkin time consuming sikit lah kalau staff kita ramai. Contoh kalau kata staff, if we have our staff 30-40 staff, macam mana kita nak buat one-to-one interview kan? So maybe we can do it ni lah. When there is a population mungkin dalam 10% ataupun 20% out of our staff yang ada di situ yang kita boleh interview, then it is a valid punya apa reporting, right? Then we have to have smart objective. Apa yang dikatakan smart objective? Not janganlah terlampau subjektif sangat. We want to know kalau my department they need to have knowledge about safety ke, about quality ke. So it must be very objective. Semua orang kena attend all these quality courses. Contoh, my department deal with people. They all of them must attend what we call that customer service punya training, counter service, telephonist punya service. Any kind of training yang deal with people, deal with the public. So it must be very objective dan something. At the end of the result tu must also be very objective. Before the training, what we call that level of satisfaction 50%. Once they have attended training, after 3 months, dah naik jadi 85% customer satisfaction. So this is the objective that we are looking at lah, right? Okay, saya nak chat box line kena upgrade nampaknya. Betul lah, saya pun dapat message mengatakan yang apa internet line tak stabil, not stable. Okay, right. Next slide. These are the agenda. Tadi ni baru masuk agenda. Alamak, panjang adalah sikit lagi kan. Okay, agenda yang kita akan tengok hari ini, nombor 1 is what is training needs analysis, training needs analysis benefit, performing training needs analysis, and also 5-step guide for conducting a successful training needs analysis. This is, everybody can Google what TNA is all about from the internet, online. Everybody will get to know the same information that I'm telling you now. Macam saya cakap lah, klise ya benda ni semua. Kalau Google semua akan dapat. Right? So, but this just a summary, a brief information, a very simple information that I would like to convey to everyone. I would like to share with everyone. And I hope that those who have information ataupun experience that you want to share, please do so. It's either you can chat from the inbox or you can directly communicate lah through just unmute and then you can communicate. Okay. So agenda number 1, we are looking at what is training needs analysis. Like I said, training needs analysis is to decide on skill sets. Itu number 1. Why training needs analysis? Kita perlu ada. Number 2 is to evaluate the skills of staff. Kita nak evaluate macam saya cakap tadi lah, level mana dia. Sedangkan kalau kita main game pun kita nak upgrade level kan. So even ourselves and even our staff pun kita nak upgrade dia orang punya level to the upper level lah. Alright. And number 3 is to highlight the skills gap. Macam kita tahu, staff kita perlukan training yang berkaitan dengan grooming contohnya. Contoh. So gap tu ada. Dia selalu datang pakai slipper, pakai lengan pendek, tak kenalah dengan office attire kan. Tak kenalah dengan dress code yang ada. So training needs analysis akan highlight the gap tu. The skill gap to the knowledge and so on and so forth lah. Okay. Benefits and needs, as you can see, the benefits, like we have already talked about this, identify knowledge gap before they become a problem. Jangan terlampau biar lama sangat, nanti akan jadi masalah kepada department dan juga kepada susmed. Kan dah tahu dah staff tu selalu MC, dah tahu dah staff tu tak perform, dah tahu dah staff tu cannot deliver. Kita pun biar saja tak buat apa-apa, so then akan affect the performance of the department and also the performance of susmed lah. Okay, bila dah jadi problem dia pun dah susah, kita pun bila jadi problem, then there will be another step lah. Itu that one we do want to talk about it here. So that is why the benefit of doing 10A tu, just we want to know the knowledge gap tu before it becomes a problem. Okay. Number two, helps to plan our training for the year. Kita tak mau buat training yang sama saja 2-3 tahun, 3-4 tahun lepas sama aja trainingnya. So TNA through the planning and the TNA that we are doing, we can plan throughout the year punya training program. Kita boleh plan berapa banyak job related training ataupun skill related training yang kita boleh buat for the year, for the whole year. Kita boleh tahu what are the generic training yang kita boleh buat for the whole year. We want to make sure that the training program yang kita nak buat tu balance dari segi spiritual, dari segi physical, dari segi job related dan dari segi generic training. Kita dah tahu dah. Throughout the year kita dah tahu. Dah balance lah, kita dah tahu. Tak maulah buat banyak sangat generic dan kekurangan daripada segi professional development. But when we are talking about training and development, bila kita bercakap berkaitan dengan proses pembelajaran, it must be a balance. Kena ada balance, kena ada dari segi balance in terms of physical, balance in terms of spiritual, balance in terms of secular, dalam masa yang sama balance in terms juga dari segi benda-benda berkaitan dengan keagamaan. Kena balance. It is the responsibility of everyone. Cuma kita kena coordinate, kita kena cooperate, kita kena complement each other. Okay, you dah buat training ni kan? Okay, tak apa, I bagi kat you training ni. Tapi, I akan fokus kepada training yang ini. But, all in all, it's all about collaboration. It's all about cooperation. It's all about complementing each other. Collaboration tu very important. Macam mana Tan Sri Director cakap. And we are not working in silo. Work together. So, that is the most important thing lah. Alright? That is why at the end tu, Sasmed ada training program yang cantik, balance semua. Dari segi rohani, dari segi jasmani, dari segi akhirat punya ilmu, dari segi sekular punya ilmu, semua ada. So that is why TNA, the benefit of TNA is this lah. Alright? Kita boleh plan, kita boleh training for the year. Number 3, highlight training that you may not have considered. Tak pernah terlintas pun di hati, tak pernah terfikir pun di hati nak buat training online. Training online saja, maksudnya training online maksudnya specifically on Zoom contoh, specifically on Skype. Skype ada kata lagi, tak tahu, tak sure. Specifically on Webex, Webex apa tahu nama tu. So some training yang kita tak pernah terfikir pun nak buat. Tak pernah terfikir pun nak buat training macam ni. Training yang luar lain daripada yang lain. Yang normal training tu dah biasa. Pergi training, attend classroom environment, on the job punya training. So what are the trainings yang lain daripada yang lain contoh. So from TNA itulah tak pernah terfikir, sebab when we do TNA, we are getting feedback, we are getting inputs from too many heads. Akan share, oh ada training ni ya. So then we are going to consider to organize that particular training. Next, ensure your training is focusing on the right areas. Yes. Let's say that you need to do, paling simple lah, sebab kita ni service oriented, hospital kan. Saya suka ambil contoh customer service. Bila kita buat benda tu, kita tahu. Focusing on the right areas. Kita tahu customer service need to be improved. Our operator need to be improved. So, kita fokus on that particular service saja. So, if let's say that they can increase the hospitality, the skill of communication to can go up to excellent level and give wow factor whatsoever, dia akan increase the image and the brand of Sasmed contoh. So the benefits of TNA tu, it will make us focus on the right areas. Kita boleh tahu, kita boleh fokus dan kita boleh tengok. Alright. Next is helps to decide who should attend which training session. Ada setengah training tak semua pun patut attend. Kita ada 10 staff, ada level mungkin ada training yang okay, semua kena ada basic knowledge, semua kena attend. Macam mana you boleh tahu kata semua that particular staff semua kena attend? Sebab you buat TNA lah. From the report tu kata okay, basic knowledge semua staff kena ada. Okay, semua kena attend. Right? Some knowledge class yang kena only 3-4 orang saja yang kena attend. So You 3-4 orang je perlu attend. The 3 of you have to go to that particular training. Another 3 we go to this particular training. Another 4 we go to another this particular training. Sebab dia from TNA tu dia membantu kita untuk identify siapa yang perlu pergi training apa. Kalau yang basic semua kena pergi, pergilah. But at the end tu semua yang balik tu dia orang buatlah knowledge sharing session, knowledge exchange session. Depa lah jadi trainer, depa lah train staff kawan-kawan depa. That is another way of that is another way of how kita nak memantapkan lagi knowledge transfer, knowledge training yang kita nak buat di peringkat kita, right? So the last one helps you to prioritize training needs. Okay, priority training mana yang perlu sangat-sangat staff kita perlu pergi. Yang tadi kita bercakap pasal siapa perlu pergi ke training apa. Sekarang ni kita nak prioritize paling basic training apa yang semua kena pergi. Contoh, right? Ya, yang primary dan secondary. So that is what the benefits that you can get. That is the result that you will get once you have done with your TNA. So these are the 6 benefits yang saya boleh share dengan everyone lah at this moment. Okay. Any question? Ada soalan? Saya tengok kat chat box pun tak ada apa-apa. Ada 34 participant. Saya rasa termasuk sekretariat ni. Right. I would like to stress on that bolehlah TNA kena buat lah, kena buat. At least we have a very basis platform, a very basis what we call that argument on why we need that particular training to be done. So TNA tu mesti kena ada, right? Okay, now we move to the needs. Train the right employees with the right approach. Ada setengah orang, okay, saya nak tanya satu lah, kalau everyone ada kat sini, time spend untuk adult, kalau dia masuk classroom, berapa paling lama yang you akan pay attention? Can you please somebody answer? Give any answer. Kita masuk training kan, ataupun masuk kelas kalau kita belajar, kita punya the maximum time spend yang kita boleh pay attention berapa lama? Lepas tu kita dah rasa macam dah hanyut. Bukan hanyut, dia macam you cannot pay attention. Sebab kita dah yalah yang mana macam saya ni yang dah dekat 50 tahun ni kan, yang nak masuk 5 series. Berapa saya tengok, saya check kat chat box 1 jam. 1 jam paling lama, depend on the speaker. Okey, 30 minit. 2 jam. 2 jam. Ui, lama tu. 2 jam lama tu. Okey, from my readings for my reading 4 hours, okay, Tanya 20 minit. Yes, for my readings 4 jam Cik Aris, Cik Aris kata 4 jam. Ya, semangat tu. Semangat Cik Aris tengah bersemangat tu. Okay, from my reading, kalau dapat Starbucks lama sikit fokus. Coffee is another thing. Ada kami makan sambil minum kopi yang sedap, sambil makan, yes, kita akan layan the coffee, and we can also layan the snack and everything. Memang akan spend. From my readings, adult time spend kalau duduk di depan cikgu dan kita learn macam sekolah dulu, 20 minit max. Lepas tu minit ke 21 hanyut. Dia bukan hanyut, dia ada di situ, tapi dalam kepala otak dia tu tak tahulah ke mana. So that is from my reading lah, 20 minit. Life adult punya time spend in a classroom to learn 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes lah, boleh lah bagi 30 minutes. But those who have longer time spend 1 hour, 2 hours tu, itu I salute lah. Serious. That is why when we do training, we have to know the right approach. Macam sekarang ni saya buat online kan, confirm lah, saya tahu confirm online ni, I've never seen your face, we only communicate through chat box kan. Memang saya tahu, saya pun macam tu juga. Okay, that is why we need to know the right approach. That is why during training session, during classroom ataupun during the learning period, learning session, teori tu bagi sekejap ya. Bagi sekejap itu terus buat group work ke, buat presentation ke, kena bergerak ke, kena kita pun akan offer, okay, you can do your job, you can discuss while you are eating, while you are taking your coffee, while you are doing this, while you are doing that, you can draw. So these are the things that approach yang kita nak make sure that our participants tu akan sentiasa aktif. Okay, right. Number 2, we look at the needs, prioritize training needs with the highest business impact. Apa macam ni? Saya rasa ini sama dengan benefits dia yang ke-6 tadi tu. Kita nak prioritize training yang memberi impact yang sangat powerful. Contoh department tertentu lah macam quality, syariah tu, dia orang ada program training yang dia orang kena tahu. This is the priority punya training yang kena ada. Semua staff kena attend. So that is how they prioritize their training. Dia orang tahu. So dia orang dah buat survey, dia orang dah tengok, dia orang dah buat their own punya TNA. Okay. So number 3, identify tools and methods you never considered before. Mungkin ada training yang kena pergi scuba diving, kita tak tahu. Training yang perlu ada dalam laut, contoh. Training yang memerlukan people to be there outdoor. Tak boleh dekat dalam, tak boleh. Dia orang takkan pay attention, dia orang takkan contribute, dia orang takkanlah cooperate. So we have to bring them outdoor. So these are the things that you will never consider before. Mungkin yalah hospital nak pergi buat outdoor training kat luar buat apa kan? Mungkin will boost the morale and then the motivation of the staff to attend the training. Kita tak tahu. Kita boleh tahu kalau kita buat TNA. Saya percaya kalau staff kita, SASMAC especially, we have been working for these 3-4 years dengan pandemic and everything, memang we are looking forward for training yang 3 hari 2 malam dekat luar. Kita pergi somewhere, camping ke, buat training. Tak kisahlah berselut ke, basah ke, kuyup ke, whatsoever, but you need that kind of enjoyment. You enjoy, at the same time you also learning. So these are the things yang kita kena tengok lah, right? Number 4, achieve a greater return on investment. Return on investment ni, it can be customer satisfaction. That is one thing. Okay, it can be the increase of profits in our business. It can be the increase of morale and motivation among our staff. Loyalty, increase in loyalty to stay with IUM, with SASMAC. So these are the things, right? Number 5, engage staff in continuous learning. Saya nak pergi training lagi lah. Pernah ke dengar staff cakap macam tu? Saya nak pergi training lagi lah. Saya nak ikut lagi lah grup ni. We are looking forward for the next phase of the training. We are looking forward nak pergi lagi lah. Best lah training ni. These are the things. Ini needs of TNA tu. Kita nak make sure engagement tu is there. Memang kita datang buat kerja, but the thing at the same time we are also looking forward to attend training, and we also looking forward to involve in continuous learning and development process, lifelong learning tu. Right? Number 6, make organization change an easy transition. Right? When we have people who are willing to contribute, who are willing to engage with us, any kind of organizational change tu memang senang. Tak ada group yang resist. No resistance. Semua macam I want change. I am the change. We need to change in order for the best, in order for the betterment of our organization. So that is why TNA perlulah untuk kita tengok. Sebab kita dah tengok tadi benefits, now kita tengok the needs. Why we need to have TNA, benda-benda macam ni. Alright? Okay. Chat box. Saya check balik chat box. Okay, sekejap. Alamak. Okay, fine. 20 minit tadi kita jawab. Depend on the speaker. Okay, right. Jujur sangat tu Abang Hakim. Okay. Alright. Ambil attendance lepas tu hilang. Itu ialah redha kita ni je lah. Husnuzon banyak kerja, saya jujur nak buat kopi jap. Okey, boleh. Saya setuju training perlu outdoor. Kita insyaAllah kita akan buat. Kita tengah mendapatkan, we need to bring our staff in order to boost their morale. Dah kerja teruk, kena enjoy. Enjoy pun kita ada content. ada deliverables, kita akan buat insyaAllah. Kena ada scuba diving juga, boleh next month boleh insyaAllah. Kita sekarang kekurangan team building training, betul, sangat setuju. Kena buat ice breaking session, right? Betul. Ramai orang baru sekarang, ada yang tak kenal, yes. Saya bukan nak cakap lah, kalau bab-bab kenal tak kenal ni kan, saya join UIA kerja 2003. Batch saya yang kami pergi induction course 2 minggu pada tahun 2004 tu sampai sekarang kami kenal. Kita rapat. Batch yang pergi induction course sekali, batch yang pergi BTN sekali. Memang kita perlu ada ukhuwah ni. When we are talking about ukhuwah, training yang kita perlu tengok is how we can make sure everybody here in Susmed knows each other. Itu kita akan buat insyaAllah. Jangan risau. Okay. So we move to the next slide. Now we are in agenda 3. Saya rasa saya akan break for 10 minit kot. Kita break dulu boleh? Break sekejap. Saya cakap pun kering dah mulut ni. We break for a while. Ada makan-makan. Alamak, sorry lah. Makan tak ada. Apa, kita break for a while. Kita break dalam 15 minit. Amin, kita jumpa balik dalam 10.30 boleh? Kita jumpa balik.
Nak tanya.
Nak tanya siapa?
Munirah, farmasi.
Munirah, farmasi, okey.
Nak tanya je, kalau kita nak buat macam team building untuk department sahajalah, boleh ke?
Kalau nak buat team building untuk department dia kalau macam ni lah, kalau kita tahu ada department yang buat team building, maksudnya sendiri-sendiri lah. Underground dia orang collect duit among the staff tu, dia orang akan buat team building sendiri. Kalau that one tu tak ada masalah lah, boleh lah nak buat. But macam biasalah SOP semua tu kena jagalah kan. Tetapi kalau kata kita nak buat secara officially, meaning that kita nak hantar proposal, that one saya rasa kena discuss dulu dengan HOD kot. Sebab HOD ada pandangan dia tersendirilah dalam nak approve ataupun tak. Sebab once one department dah buat something official, team building tu, mungkin department lain pun akan buat juga tau. Tapi nak buat tu boleh lah. Kalau you tanya saya personally, nak buat boleh. Sebab banyak je department lain yang buat secara eksklusif among themselves, maksudnya sendiri-sendiri lah. Tapi kalau peringkat Susmed tu, memang benda ni kita dah pernah bawa bincang dengan management lah, dengan top management tu. Buat masa ni macam kalau ikut polisi, team building tu kalau peringkat universiti pun tak ada sangat dah pun.
Sebab macam kalau macam farmasi sendiri pun kita orang banyak unit. So ya, antara unit pun ramai orang dalam tu. So ya, apa yang saya nampak lah sebenarnya, we really need that lah. Right?
Kita yang menampak kalau nak buat team building ni memang kena menyeluruh, maksudnya komprehensif, semua kena terlibat. Sebab barulah mencapai matlamat apa yang kita nak kan. Kalau buat sendiri-sendiri ni selalunya sendiri-sendiri je lah, dia akan jadi macam tu je lah. Still dia akan address balik kepada working in silo tu. Sebab tu kita macam contoh kita HRD memang buat itu macam program teams tu, kita kumpulkan dulu 41 and above dulu. Lepas tu kita kumpulkan 48 and above dulu. But we do it batch by batch lah. But the intention of the what we call that, the department pun kita memang nak buat secara menyeluruh kepada semua. Kan? So that will be my answer at this moment lah. Kalau nak buat, kita kena buat semua. Jangan terlampau isolate, jangan terlampau silo sangat. Nanti tak mencapai matlamat pun. Kan? You will get to know close to the people in the same department, but you don't. Our intention is to get to know people from other department kan. So that one tu kita kena buat so. That is why we we started with 41 and above dulu, and lepas ni mungkin 29 and above. So we do it batch by batch. Mungkin lah one day we will have one big what we call that family day ke ataupun team bonding ke. We never know, sebab benda ni ialah it's very we keep changing kan. Mana tahu nanti bos kata boleh jom kita buat, so then we can do lah. And then banyaklah benda faktor kita kena tengok juga dari segi bajet, so on and so forth lah. And so these are the things that banyak benda yang kena ada think tank group untuk sit down and discuss. Banyak faktor-faktor yang boleh membolehkan kita buat, banyak juga faktor-faktor yang menindakbolehkan ataupun saya tidak mau kata menindakbolehkan, melimitkan daripada kita proceed. So benda-benda tu kena dibincangkan dengan secara komprehensif lagi lah. But the idea, intention tu memang cantik. We want to know each other here in the department. Kalau department kecil macam MSD ke, macam finance, macam library, that one manageable lah. But kita Sasmed ni besar. Memang kita 2,000 lebih. Staff nursing saja pun dah 1,000 lebih, 1,300. So that is when I think we have to strategize lah. We have to strategize and do the planning properly.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, so we break dulu. Nanti 10:30 kita jumpa balik. Okay, thank you. Okay, we can continue our session. Okay, we shall continue our session. Okay, right now we are at agenda 0.3, performing TNA. Okay, so right, perform a training needs analysis. First thing first, I give you one example for us to do TNA. Okay, we need to first set clear business objective. Okay, what is the purpose of our TNA? So that will be number one lah. Okay, what is the purpose of our TNA? I will take one example. Let's say that MSD needs to do TNA. So the objective must be very clear. Okay, they have to maybe they have to divide their TNA according to what we call that, according to focus group, according to scheme. For example, for the administrative staff. So for officer grade 41 to 44. So what are the competency that they need to have in order to fill the post and also to perform the job? So that is another clear setting of a clear business objective, the objective of the doing the TNA, right? And then once we have the objective, then we move to the next level is to identify the competencies needed to achieve. Okay, for officer grade 41 and 44, apa kompetensi yang perlu ada for them to achieve, needed for them to achieve? Let's say that, for example, they must have a very basic project management skill, contoh. They need to have strategic planning skills ataupun knowledge, for example. So these are the competencies that needed to achieve them, right? So, and then number 3, we need to know what are the things that we need to remove. Remove learning and performance obstacle. Apa obstacle yang menyebabkan they are unable to go for training ataupun unable for them to perform during the job, contoh. So this is where the gap tu, kita dah identify the gap. When we are talking about the gap tu, so apa yang melimitkan all of this stuff from learning and also from performing in the job? So that is the third thing that we need to do. And then at the end, once we have done, then we need to provide the appropriate training lah for that particular group of staff. Contoh, for example, the one that I'm giving the example is for grade 41 and 44. Those who are, let's say that for when looking at those specific job, for example, like counter service. So what are the skills that they need to have? Knowledge ataupun what we call that, in order for them to be people friendly, in order for them to give out the what we call that, to deliver the excellent customer service, and so we know that they must be a person people. They love to work with people. They love to meet with people. So these are the things that the kind of training that we have to identify lah. We need to set the objective, and then we need to identify the competencies yang dia orang perlu ada, and then we also need to know if, let's say that at the respective workplace ataupun tempat tu ada benda yang membolehkan dia orang tak boleh nak perform, so we have to increase, and then we have to remove that kind of obstacles lah, that limit themselves from giving out excellent services, contoh. So these are the things that we need to be done in order for us to perform a training needs analysis. Alright. At the end tu, number 4 tu is the normal thing lah. Then we have to provide the appropriate training for that particular group of staff. So The thing is must be ada benda, there are things that we can lump sum everything together in one group. There are things that we need to be focused. So the one who are implementing or who are doing the TNA itu must be well understood. They also must know what they are doing in order for them to make sure that the objective are met, and then the training is appropriate, and also the target group too, and the issue are addressed properly lah. Okay, so that will be the on how to perform TNA. Okay, so that is agenda for number 3. Okay, bila kita nak buat tu, what I can guide you, what I can share with you first. Okay, we have to sit down with some of our think tank group, some of our think tank members in the group. So we identify, maybe they have come up with the SWOT thing and everything, weaknesses, and then the strength, and then the threat, and then whatsoever, and then they know that they want to do something. They know that they have to proceed with something, and then they've already set the objective. Okay, they have to identify, okay, in that particular department, in the department office or whatsoever, ada beberapa group yang perlu kita improve dia orang punya skills and knowledge, for example. So you also from within the think tank group tu dah boleh identify dah. You dah identify the objective, you also have identified the competencies. Okay, apa yang perlu ada, apa yang perlu buat, kompetensi macam mana dia orang perlu achieve, at what level, and then what limit them from performing their job. Mungkin dari segi logistik tidak kondusif, contoh. Mungkin dari segi teknikal peralatan kurang, contoh. Mungkin dari segi tidak dipanggil untuk training, for example, tidak pernah dihantar untuk training, for example, for them to increase their knowledge. So then when you have identified, when you have troubleshoot certain area, when you have identified and you have certified, and then you have confirmed what are the objective and everything, and then you are able to provide them with appropriate training. So that is how we perform training needs analysis lah. Kena ada objektif lah, jangan kita tak buat langsung. Now we move to agenda number 4, the 5-step guide for conducting successful training needs analysis. Okay, we have the objective. Kita dah tahu dah kompetensi yang perlu dibuat, yang perlu ada untuk staff, untuk ourselves, untuk our staff. And then we have also improved their learning performance, their learning experience, also we want to improve their performance in job performance. And though at the same time we know that we need to organize certain training just for them, for our staff to increase and then to improve their own punya knowledge, skill, performance, so on and so forth. Now we look at the 5-step guide. Macam mana kita nak buat yang kita cakap tadi, successful training analysis number 1. This is what in general, we know that our business goals tu apa dia? At SASMAC level, at the macro level tu kita tahu dah apa business goal kita. And then we go to the micro level is our department. What we want to achieve? Apa kita punya business goal? For example, I will take macam HR. Kita dah tahu dah kalau HRM, we have to make sure that we have enough manpower. We have to recruit people, and then we have to have enough manpower at all the respective offices, so on and so forth. For HRD, we have to make sure that our business goal, our staff are well trained, well equipped with knowledge, the appropriate knowledge, skills, so on and so forth. Itu kita tahu dah. That is our business goal. Okay? So bila kita tahu, when we know our business goal, now we move to the next steps. Apa yang skills yang diperlukan untuk achieve our business goal? In general kita dah tahu dah, HRD kena buat training untuk staff SASMAC. Saya ambil HRD dah paling senang lah. What are the skills? Bila dah tahu dah goal, objective of HRD, then we look at the people. What are the skills that will help us to achieve that goal? Kalau orang yang jaga training, dia kena somebody yang extrovert, yang kreatif. Dia tak boleh orang yang duduk diam, tak buat apa, kan? Dia tak boleh nak berfikir di luar kotak ke. Sekarang ni orang bisa cakap thinking outside the box. Sometimes inside the box. Sometimes all over the box and everything kan. Skill tu ada tak dekat staff HR training? Skill tu ada tak? Kalau kata orang minta 5, dia bagi 7. Kalau orang minta 5, dia bagi 10. Ada tak orang-orang training ni yang tak bercakap langsung, duduk diam je? Orang yang jaga training ni, dia tak extrovert, dia tak bukanlah hanky-panky, dia tak ni lah, tak huha-huha, dia kena that kind of mood tu kan. Orang training tu dia macam, kalau you tengok trainer dekat daripada corporate world kan, lain tau. Dia punya approach, dia punya physical appearance tu pun dah lain. People coming in kan. Ada tak skill tu di situ? Ada tak planning skill tu di kalangan HRD punya staff? Ada tak event management punya skill tu di kalangan HRD punya staff? Ada tak this particular staff ni extrovert ke introvert? Dia punya people skills dia tu bagus ke tak? Dia punya inter and intrapersonal skills tu ada problem ke tak? So that is the thinking about of skills that we need to think in order to help for us to achieve goal. Kalau ada gap di situ, then kita kena evaluate. Macam mana kita nak tahu dia ni di level 1 ke 2, 3, 4, 5 ke? Kita kena evaluate lah. Kita tengok dia balik. Saya ada 4-5 orang staff under this particular department. Kita bercakap pasal he or she must be friendly. Friendly ke tak dia ketika dia di counter, ketika melayan tetamu? Contoh. So that is the evaluation that we need to do. Tak kira lah dia jaga billing ke whatsoever, tapi bila dia ditempatkan, ditugaskan di counter, friendly ke tak ketika customer datang, patient datang, family members datang untuk bayar bill, dia muka ketat ke, muka dia cekang ke, muka dia tak senyum ke, ada ke tak? So these are the things that we need to evaluate. Tengok staff kita kena skill, okey ke tak dia ni? Kalau tak okey, dia akan effect. Kalau tak okey, dia akan effect kita punya goals of the department and goals of the organization. Okay. Next, identify knowledge gap in your staff. Kita dah evaluate ni. Oh, orang quality kena macam ni lah. Kena muka serius. Contoh jangan marah. Orang tapi tak mahu kita ambil customer service lah. Customer service kena yang elok-elok, muka sentiasa senyum, dia tak tengok orang pun dia senyum, lepas tu cakap pun elok, okay, talk very nice, very calm, very content, very informative, very cheerful, okay. The same goes to doctors kan, patient yang datang pun, yang sakit pun rasa tak sakit sebab doktor cakap elok, cantik, baik, kan, lembut, cakap. Kita yang sakit pun rasa tak sakit. Pernah tak kita dengar orang mak kita ke orang tua-tua, jumpa doktor tu best, ya, rasa sejuk hati. Kita yang sakit pun rasa tak sakit, kita rasa kuat. So these are the things that we have to evaluate. Tengok staff kita macam mana, right? Once kita dah evaluate, kita dah tahu dah ada knowledge gap ni. Dia ni muka ni selalu ketat, tapi dalam hati tak apa-apa pun. Tapi macam mana nak mengendurkan ataupun nak mengendurkan yang ketat tu. Contoh, nak bagi nampak ceria sikit lah kan. So that is when you identify the knowledge gaps in your staff. When we're talking about gap, it's not just about the tangible, the intangible gap. Tangible gap pun sekali macam the way he dress, the way he speak, the way he project him or herself, the way he walks, the way he handle problems, the way he give decisions, the way he analyze the report, the way he present, the way he's doing presentation. Benda-benda tu kena tengok lah. Right? Depending on your nature of your office and also the goals of your office and what contributes to the big goal of the organization too, right? That is number 4. You dah identify gaps, lepas tu baru you plan your training. Okay, dia kena pergi hantar ke kursus grooming. Okay, pergi hantar ke grooming. dia kena hantar kursus untuk senyum saja. Bagilah hantar kursus untuk senyum saja. Ini yang katakan tadi, ada tahu orang buat kursus, we have identified kursus untuk senyum sahaja. Senyum tu maksudnya bukan senyum sentiasa daripada pagi sampai senyum. Dia adalah cara-cara dia untuk facial, untuk adalah dia punya urut, massage, whatsoever, macam mana nak menceriakan. Benda-benda tu ada. That's why tadi kalau everybody ingat, if you still remember, some training bila kita buat TNA, kita tak perlu terfikir pun training tu ada. Kita hantar staff kita. Some training yang memang kita tak pernah terfikir, we want to send our staff untuk pedicure, manicure. Tak pernah hantar, patutnya hantar sebab dia project the image of the organisation kot. So kita hantar, contoh. So that are the 5 steps guide that we want to do. Kalau kata kita nak buat yang tadi Masih cakap tadi tu, what are the things that we need to do in order for us to do the what we call it, the training needs analysis. Okay? Dah conclusion dah pun. Benda ni sekejap je.
Alah, saya raya.
Apa?
Lina ni.
Hello? Bukan Saya proceed Okay, any question? Ada soalan tak? Ada nak bertanya? Ada nak chat dekat box ke tak ada? Kalau tak saya proceed sebab this will be the end of phase 1. Phase 2 I will pass over to Shahira. Shahira will ask everyone, and not just everyone here, the participants, but also everyone in your department or the department next to you to fill up the Google form, some questionnaires that need to be answered in order for us to get the report, so that we can analyze the report and then we can come up with a proper TNA for SASMEC lah at this for this year. Okey, untuk reference teknikal boleh Fazila boleh datang pinjam tu, boleh datang tengok kat HRD lah sebab kita ada 1 kopi je. Okey. Di situ ada competency level of all the schemes yang ada lah. Okey, boleh jadikan rujukan, tidak ada masalah, kita share. Right, conclusion. A poorly designed TNA can lead to training that address the wrong competency, train the wrong people, use the wrong training methods. Okay, kalau kata TNA itu tidak dibuat, when we are unable to produce a very comprehensive report of our TNA for our department, at the end, we will address the wrong competencies. Contoh, for example, if let's say that we are going to, you know that customer service is important, but you send them, contoh, for writing class, then is something. All right, writing is good, but maybe out of 100%, it may only contribute 30 to 40%, for example. But the most important thing is the 70 and 80% is all about facing the customer, dealing with customer physically, face to face. So that is the thing that we are trying to mention to everyone here, right? We may train the wrong people. Dia tak sepatutnya pun pergi training tu, tapi you hantar juga dia pergi training. Sebab apa? Sebab dia boleh escape from job. Contoh. Example, guys. So that is another thing that we have to look into it. So we need to know the best person, the right person to attend that particular training program. When we are talking, okay, everyone, when we are talking about training program, it is inclusive of workshop, conference, classroom environment, sending them for post basic, sending them for staff attachment, sending them for training, internal or external training, any kind of learning environment that involve learning, that involve education, itu adalah something that we need to, it is all about learning. Bila benda tu learning, but by nature, they are different lah. Tapi memang involve process of learning. Okay, so when it comes to learning, bila kita nak buat learning tu, bila sekolah nak buat curriculum, bila universiti nak buat curriculum, they also involved in doing TNA. They also have to do TNA, training needs analysis. Memanglah kita cakap, oh, training needs analysis is when we want to do training program. Betul, right? When it comes to university and when it comes to school, it's all about curriculum development. Alright, betul. Tetapi nature dia lebih kurang sama. Nature dia sama je. It's all about education. It's all about learning process. Kena ada nak buat learning process pun sebelum dia orang buat curriculum development pun, sebelum dia come up with the curriculum pun, dia pun mesti buat TNA. Boleh ke subjek ni appropriate ke subjek ni diajar kepada budak sekolah rendah? Appropriate ke subjek ni diajar untuk budak sekolah menengah? Appropriate ke curriculum ni kita ajar kepada universiti? So there must be a group of people who are doing the analysis, keperluan, ketidakkeperluan. So that is why kalau kita poor in designing TNA, memang kita buat program short sendiri, itu saya cakap tidak mencapai apa-apa. What are the deliverables that we are talking about? What we want to achieve? Itu the most important thing. What are the contents in that particular module training? So these are the things that we have to think of when we do our SWOT process analysis, when we do our TNA. Apa kita nak capai, right? Sebab kita tak mau at the end tu nanti akan address wrong competencies, address training attended by wrong people. Method yang kita pakai sepatutnya benda ni kena buat hands on, tapi dia buat teori je, lecture je, tak mencapai matlamat. Okay. Lepas tu rugi dari segi investment. You bayar, kita bayar duit ni, banyak duit ni, bayar untuk training, 100,000, 200,000, apa pun tak ada idea. Staff sama saja, performance dia sama. So that is why it will reflect the TNA yang kita buat sebelum ni. Kan, rugi duit, objektif tak tercapai, staff tak perform. Lepas tu adakah training yang kita buat tu berbaloi ke tak kita nak buat lagi? So these are the things that we'll address at the end. At the end, it will address all these kind of issues. Kalau bagus, buat lagi. Kalau tak bagus, siapa tak bagus? Siapa tak bagus? Kenapa kita kena stop? So these are the things that the analysis that we have to do lah. Alright? Obstacles, management. Kita kena ada buy-in dengan management. These are the management. Kadang-kadang tu management tak nampak. You know, sometimes the management, they cannot see the importance of that particular certain part of training. Alright? That is why buying in with the top management, with the people who are in support of all the training programs to be done, that is the best. We have to buy in them first. Alright? Because banyak benda yang akan involve lah dari segi monetary, dari segi logistik, and then all these kind of things lah. Alright? Some obstacles that we have identified from our readings, from our learning, one thing is the management. If you don't get support from the management, memang susah nak bergerak. Right? Time sometimes is another enemy, because we want to do it, let's say that for 1 week, for example, and then there are certain things coming in, so we have to postpone the course, we have to reschedule, cancel the training, relying on last year's result. People change, technology change, everything keep changing for the best. Alright, kalau kita asyik nak rely on last year's punya result, then susahlah, because people come in, come out. People come in, go out. And then even technology, environment, nature, context also change. So that is why TNA need to be done on frequent basis. Need to be done frequently. Every year, at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, there must be a TNA session. Kalau tak pun, tengah tahun ada satu lagi. Mungkin the demand is different. Contoh, when people are in business, right? They know at technology change, within 3 months, 4 months, 1 month pun ada. So the demand change. So we need to have another round of training. So we need to have another TNA. Kalau kita asyik nak rely on last year, memanglah kita akan terlepas boat lah. We are going to be at the losing part. We are going to be at the losing team. Right? So that's why TNA need to be done frequently. No progress, Tak ada progress pun, tak ada. Tak orang kata apa, the person going for training tu showing no improvement. So that is another obstacle. Kita tak, next one is we are not utilizing the feedback. Feedback pun kita tak tengok, kita just do the feedback, and then kita pun tidaklah orang kata apa, not utilizing the feedback, and then we just ignore whatever things, the input that we get. So we rasa macam everything is okay, everything is good, so we just ignore all the feedback input that we get. The last one is we don't have firm process. The process that we are talking when we want to do training kan, when kita buat program whatsoever, proses tu tak firm, asyik bertukar-tukar je whatsoever kan. But for the change that we are looking for the betterment is okay. But kalau kata even the process yang the basic process pun tak firm, then there will be also a problem to us lah, right? Okay. Why this slide comes in? It shows that all talents that we have here in SASMAC tu, the talent that we have here in SASMAC tu is only with only one ultimate goal, is to achieve the success of the organizational goals. So SASMAC ada misi, we have our own vision, we have our own mission, and we need people. When we're talking about organization, it's all about a group of people working together under one roof. That is organization. So any organization in the world, there must be a goal. There must be established with a goal to achieve. So who are the one who can confirm the goal shall be achieved is the talents. Talent from finance, talents from engineering, talents from quality, talents from Sharia compliance, talents from nursing department, talents from clinical departments, CMU, HRD, PR, and everybody in the departments from all over SASMAC will contribute to the success of organization goals. Macam mana nak make sure all these talents tu can contribute to the success of the organization goals tu? With the appropriate competency, with the appropriate training, with the appropriate knowledge, skills, so on and so forth. Everybody performing in their jobs, achieve the target, will contribute to the success of the goals. That is what the idea of this what we call it contribution of talents to the organization. On how to make sure that all these talents make sure that they are in line ataupun they are in the same wavelength, make sure that everybody at the same par, at the same level tu, through attending the learning process lah, being part of the learning culture, so that every talent in SASMAC tu akan will be at the same par with the same standard that can contribute to the organizational goals. So that is what this slide is all about. I'm showing this why I'm choosing. Agak-agak apa saya pilih puzzle. Why do you think that I'm using puzzle as my background of my slide? Kan? Tak ada jawapan sebab bila kita main puzzle, yes, setiap orang melengkapi satu sama lain. I am not strong on my own, but I will be strong. I can be strong with the support and with the what we call that, with the combination with others, with other members in my team. So that is what puzzle has been chosen to be my mascot, to be my background of my slide. Kita main puzzle kan, kita contohnya akan dapat satu gambar yang cantik dan besar. Missing of that one puzzle, it will not achieve the goal of us doing the puzzle. That gap tu kita kena dapatkan, make sure kita kena identify what is the gap. We have to find the best shape to fit the gap, so that at the end we will have very beautiful big picture where all the puzzles are being fit into. That is the objective of that goal. So that is what it meant by this slide and the slide that you see from the first until now. Okay. Solution. At the end, kita dah buat TNA. Kita dah identify the objective, kita dah identify the competency, kita dah identify the evaluation. We did evaluation to our staff at the end. Kita dah buat semua ni dah. Dengan satu matlamat, with only one solution, a holistic, to get a holistic, well-trained, knowledgeable, skillful with the right competency of staff working in our department, working in suspect. That is the intention of us. The solution that we want to get, right? A holistic, well-trained, knowledgeable, skillful with the right competency. Nak tambah-tambah lah. Insan yang sejahtera, mencapai tahap khair yang sempurna. So all this kind of thing, mempunyai ciri-ciri Rasulullah, siddiq, amanah, semua tu, fatonah, semua tu masuk sekali, semua tu kita nak. Every department has their own responsibility. Every department has their own what we call that mission, vision, right? So what I want to address here is we work together, we complement each other, right? We complement each other, we work together, we collaborate. Don't work in silo. If let's say that you are doing this, okay, I'm doing that. We don't want to have overlapping. We don't want to have redundancy in the things that we're doing. Here in these terms, in this context, is programs that we are organized. Kita collaborate. We cannot stop people from learning. Yes, we cannot ask people to stop. Hey, you don't do that. Because when it comes to learning, when it comes to lifelong learning, it is the responsibility of everyone. You are kan? Nama pun khalifah. You tidak boleh kata, you tak boleh buat benda ni I seorang je boleh buat. Tak boleh. Khalifah is a very important and is a very important word. And that is the responsibility of everyone to be the khalifah. We have to make sure our staff are holistic, well-trained, knowledgeable, skillful and with the right competency. Senang sebab dia dengan TNA yang bagus, with the best TNA, with the best training solution, when we can address the gap in terms of competency, kita akan contribute to the succession planning, a very comprehensive and excellent succession planning for Susmed. We are not talking about succession planning kat sini kita cakap pasal TNA saja but all of these things yang kita buat sekarang ni, the TNA, so on and so forth tu, dia akan contribute to the ultimate goal, which is one of it is the succession planning of Susmed. When somebody resign, when somebody go out, when somebody dah pension, we know who are the successor. Itulah. Dia start dengan TNA ni lah. Ini TNA tak buat, betul orang lain buat program, you kata tak boleh buat program, ni program kami. Tak. When it comes to learning, when it comes to education, it's the responsibility of everyone as a khalifah. That's it. Kita kena ada balance di mana kita buat program, ada yang berlandaskan syariah, ada yang berlandaskan sekular, ada yang berlandaskan balance dari segi spiritual and rohani. Sebab tu saya kata, I would love to collaborate with everyone. Kita complement each other. Okay? Right? So this is our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to have a very holistic itu dari segi dalaman, adab, values, wisdom, semua dia ada ni. Dalam performing job pun, integrity tinggi, semua ada. Itu tugas kita semua. What we have to do, we have to sit down, kita complement, kita collaborate. That is the most important thing. Sebab matlamat, our main aim is to have a holistic, well-trained, knowledgeable, skillful and right competency yang staff kita kena ada. That is the solution. Senang, lepas tu nak succession planning pun address well, nak letak dia kat mana-mana pun dia boleh akan perform well. So that is the issue. That is the thing. That is the ultimate goal. Putting the right person with the right competency, with the right qualification at the right place. Definitely department tu akan excel. Definitely dia akan contribute kepada the organizational punya goals and also the success of the organization. We're talking about SASMEC. It's the responsibility of everyone as a khalifah. Kita tidak bercakap pasal khair di sini ya. Kita tidak bercakap pasal sejahtera person, sejahtera diri sendiri dulu, baru kita nak sejahterakan orang. Kita tak cakap pasal benda tu. Kita cakap pasal TNA saja ni. Tapi the TNA that we are doing is the basic of every program that we are going to do in SASMEC. Tapi dia punya ultimate goal dia, solution dia tu, inilah. A holistic, well-trained, knowledgeable, skillful with right competency of the staff. Of us, kita pun bukannya perfect sangat pun. Nobody is perfect. Kita pun sekali termasuk dalam ni. Right? Okay. Dah banyak sangat lah duk beletiak ni. Homework. Okay, ada homework dia. Kita buat ni, teori saya dah bagi dah, saya dah tahu dah. Kita dah tahu dah pun, 20 minit je pun orang akan time spend untuk adult kan. So, but I keep on going. Memang benda-benda ni, I know everybody, my friends kat sini, semua yang ada kat sini, 31 orang termasuk all my beloved friends and doktor ni, Dr. Hazrul, Dr. Kristina, semua ni tahu dah. Klise je. Cuma kita niat nak refresh kita punya mind, kita nak refresh kita punya what we call that, knowledge and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm happy to have everyone here. Nanti kita boleh always share. I believe that kita can sit down and make things better untuk SASMEC dan untuk URA. Alright. Part homework ni saya akan pass. This will be the phase number 2. I will pass to Syahira to take lead for phase number 2. Homework ni sebab saya nak I want everyone, kita nak kalau boleh not just everyone participating in today's session but also please make sure that all our staff pun isi juga Google Form ni supaya kita akan dapat lebih banyak responden dan our TNA tu akan lagi lebih valid lah. Actually kalau ikutkan from the TNA tu, from the survey yang kita buat ataupun from the feedback that we want to get from our staff, out of let's say that 2,000 staff plus, at least we can get 20% ataupun 20 to 30% from the respondent to answer the Google form tu, then it will be, insyaAllah will be a valid TNA report lah so far. So at least at the end tu nanti kita akan share, Syahira akan share the report of our TNA for this session. Kita akan tengok from the report tu ada berapa banyak top 10 job related training yang diperlukan and then top 10 generic training yang diperlukan oleh our staff. So that will be easy for us, the department, so on and so forth, untuk coordinate training dan organize training. Okay, I think that's all from me. The theory part memang boring. Terus terang saya cakap, saya pun dah banyak cakap ni, mulut pun dah kering, dah semua dah banyak sangat dah benda-benda cakap dan benda ni pun bagi saya pun dah klise sebab every time pun that is the only thing about TNA that everybody needs to know, the basic and everything. Ada soalan? Saya tengok kat chat box ni ada satu. Alright. Thank you. What else? Tiap orang okay, this one I've already mentioned to everyone. Anything? Apa-apa pun when it comes to HRD, when it comes to HR, please kalau ada nak discuss, I'm happy to entertain everyone. Sahabat-sahabat yang ada kat sini. I'm happy to entertain everyone. Kita boleh work together. I believe that we don't have problem, tak ada gap antara kita untuk we approach each other. Please come, we are happy to entertain. Macam saya cakap lah, tahun ni pun budget training pun kita banyak kena cut down. So hope that kita tidaklah jangan kita jadikan duit tu sebagai motivator kita untuk buat program ya. Banyak lagi cara kita buat program tanpa menggunakan duit. Kita hanya perlu invest our time and our knowledge saja untuk sharing. So that one will be another way of us doing training program for this year lah. So but when it comes to discussion, nak cerita pasal training whatsoever, saya memang I'm into HRD very much lah. Even my background, my study pun my master pun in HRD. My passion is all about training and development, organization development and career development. Itu tiga tu benda yang saya my passion sangatlah. I'm happy to discuss with everyone kalau ada apa-apa.
Saya di soalan Brother Azri.
Ya, saya.
Saya Syafawati daripada Petologi.
Okay.
Basically untuk training analysis ni, macam kami dekat Petologi memang dah ada plan setahun dan setiap unit kena submit. Dalam department Petologi kita ada 7 unit lah. So setiap unit kena submit for 1 year training lah. Kami dah ada list tu for the 1 year untuk kami punya ISO. So kami kena pastikan setiap staff ada training dan competency skill semualah. So kalau macam tu saya nak kena isi balik lagi yang saya just isi je lah yang template tu kan macam mana ya?
Macam ni, saya personally I will encourage you, I will ask you to isi juga. This one maybe untuk tahun ni dan mungkin untuk kita pakai untuk tahun depan. Macam training yang Peto buat sekarang ni lebih kepada dah spesifik kan?
Sebab kami spesifik lah.
Kita nak tengok juga dari segi yang generic training yang diperlukan juga tu.
Boleh.
Generic training dan juga ada job related training. Mungkin for example bila kita buat when we ask for TNA ni, ada mungkin job related training yang sebelum ni dah pernah di-set tapi mungkin ada yang baru yang tidak pernah lagi di-set di department Peto. Jadi at least we know what other job related training yang you guys perlukan dan any other new generic training yang diperlukan. Kita kadang-kadang we have to make it balance kan. Not just focusing on job related sahaja, but at the same time kita tengok juga dari segi sasiah diri tu you perlukan part apa pula dari segi generic.
Boleh.
Better work relationship ke, nak handle difficult staff ke, nak handle difficult boss ke, dari segi kerja sebagai ibadah ke, tanggungjawab sebagai seorang khalifah ke, benda-benda tu generic. Kita nak tahu juga. Takkan kita bukan robot kita nak tengok ada lagi the other side of ourselves. My side macam Venom kan, dia ada Venom warna hitam, dia ada warna merah. Macam mana? Okay,
baik. Terima kasih Brother Azri.
Alright, ada lagi sebelum saya pass over to Syahira? Saya rasa semua orang clear. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for spending time with me. Memang boring time with me. Dah dekat, saya rasa dekat secam 2 jam ni. Macam saya cakap tadi, anything just buzz me. Tak ada masalah, kita boleh discuss. I'm happy to assist. I will pass, saya rasa now I will pass over to Sister Syahira lah untuk lead for the second phase in terms of the homework from the template given tu untuk Google Form tu. So thank you so much. Syahira, I pass back to you. Thank you so much everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you Brother Azili. Okay, saya rasa semua orang dah dapat kot email daripada Brother Kai yang ada 3 types of questionnaire dengan template semalam. Semua ada dapat kan?
Dapat.
Okay. Yang tab questionnaire tu just untuk for your reviews. Kami dah convert dalam Google Form. So nanti by this evening kita orang akan blast. So kami minta semua staff untuk jawab. So person in charge for training ni untuk remind staff lah untuk jawab. So sebab questionnaire ni untuk individual punya. So dia ada 3 types of questionnaire. Dia for clinical staff, administrative staff and technical. So staff kena jawab. Garam ke checking? Taklah. Staff kena jawab based on skill masing-masing. Yang untuk staff clinical jawab yang questionnaire untuk clinical. And then administrative untuk administrative and technical macam IT, macam engineering. Jangan tersilap jawab pula questionnaire. So nanti okay, 2 part questionnaire. And then untuk template, template tu untuk request any training by department. So person in charge of training nanti minta fill up the template. So saya bagi dalam duration 2 minggu. Cukup ke? Ke tak cukup? So nanti cuba So nanti anything any inquiries ke boleh contact kami HRD team. So faham tak ke ada apa persoalan tak? Nanti minta person in charge remind je lah semua staff untuk jawab questionnaire tu. Okay. Any question?
Sister, questionnaire ni nak kena hantar balik ke HRD ke?
Tak, questionnaire ni kami dah convert dalam Google Form. So nanti kami akan blast petang ni dekat email. So ini just untuk korang punya review je.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Syah, semua staf dalam department wajib isi tu macam mana?
Wajib. Sebab
Okay.
dia individual punya ni survey.
Okay. See.
Nak tanya, kalau diorang dah jawab survey ni dan ada related ada training yang diorang required yang related tu hanya untuk spesifik department sahaja, adakah department tu akan dapat feedback balik ke macam mana?
Sebab nanti dekat questionnaire tu ada part last tu dia ada yang ini dia akan suruh listkan any additional education needs. Kat situ nanti kami akan tengok juga kat situ dan kami akan table juga nanti untuk analyse. Okay. So, kalau tiada apa-apa question, tak ada apa-apa dah kan? So, kalau tak ada apa-apa, kita akhiri kita punya program today dengan tasbih kifarah dan surah Al-As. Department akan dapat copy of the InsyaAllah nanti lepas analyze saya akan distribute lah DNA ni. Alright, terima kasih semua.